Hey, what's up, rock stars? It's Rox with a little bit of talk, a little bit of talk about what's at the top of the blogs. So let's get to it. All right, rock stars, before we get started, a lot of you guys asked me how was my trip to Las Vegas. Many of you guys saw it on my Instagram stories. I posted the day of the party and shared a little bit of my family and friends with you guys, and Joe's speech that he gave. Just really happy that he, enjoyed the time there. Everything went smoothly. We didn't have any hiccups. Everybody got along. There wasn't no issues. I mean, it rarely is ever any issues when our families get together. And that's both my family and Mr.'s family. We had people come from, mostly everybody was from LA, because you guys know that's where we're from. So most of our family is in LA. But I have family in Seattle, Washington who came. I had family in Salt Lake City, Utah who came. Family who came from here in Georgia. Family from that lived already there in Nevada. So we've had a lot of people that came. Like I said, about 45 people, 50 people, somewhere in there. Everybody that was expected to come came, plus a few more. So it was just really, really nice. It was hot as fuck in Vegas. They had said the weekend before it was like in the 80s. And then, of course, the weekend that we choose to have the party, it was like 110 degrees. So the party originally was, it still was inside and outside my cousin's house. We had it at my cousin's house who lives there. He and his wife, Monique and Les, thank you guys so much. If you happen to be watching this video, letting us use your home. That was my first time meeting Monique, and she was really, really nice and helpful and, hosted with no problems. Whatever we needed, she gave. And both she and my cousin. So thank you so much. But anyway, it was supposed to be inside and outside. There were some people who was brave enough to sit outside. We had an outside air conditioner, but for 110 degrees, it really wasn't doing much unless you were sitting right up on it. So the people that was outside, they was right up on right up on it. And then it was weird because we got a little bit of a breeze, and then the sun, if you were in the shade, it wasn't as bad. But so we did have some people that sat outside in the shade a lot, but for the most part, everybody was in the house, and it was just really, really nice. Our family got together Friday night in our hotel, Saturday at the party, Sunday at our hotel. We stayed at the Las Vegas, Hilton Grand Vacations on the Strip, on Las Vegas Strip, I think is the name of it. And we like to stay there because usually we stay for a length of time, and we like to have a kitchen just in case we want to cook. My Mr. is a cooking man, and it is a cooking family that he comes from. So they require like kitchens and shit when we go places. So they have suites there, and it's like being in an apartment. So we like to stay at we stay there. I'm not big on gambling. I used to like to gamble, but when I found out that you lose money and you ain't got shit to show for it, that's what I was like, no. So now I just, I like to go shopping. That's like what I do. I save my shopping for when I know I'm going to Vegas, and then I could go hit the malls. And there is no shortage of malls out there. Every resort has some sort of mall. As a matter of fact, I was looking for my Le Labo Santal 33 body lotion. I have been looking for it forever. I didn't want to order it online. I wanted to get it in person because I wanted it when I wanted it. And they had a Le Labo store in the Wynn, or I guess that would be, was it the Wynn, the Wynn Resort? It was either Wynn or Encore. I think it was Wynn. Their mall actually had a Le Labo store, so I was able to get it there. But yeah, went to the mall, went to, the kids. They went out, everybody is pretty much 21 and over with the exception of Sita. But everybody else went out and, had a great time. It was also Joe's 20th, we were celebrating his 21st birthday, even though it was 22nd. So he was able to go and hang out with, some of his older cousins. And You know, one of our cousins, Mr.'s cousins, he is a big DJ and a well-known personality out there in Las Vegas. So, you know, Joe was able to hang out with him and all night and all that. So, and he's not much of a partier. So, but we had a great time. I laid out, sat at the pool, you know, for some hours. And I mean, it was just what I needed. It just wasn't long enough. Okay. Had to come on back, had to get back to work. Even though I had taken the whole week off, I was off from Monday, you know, which was Memorial Day, all the way till the next Monday. I was off and I had to go back to work on Tuesday. When I got back to work, I was just like, I'm so overworked today, you guys. I am just over it. It's so stressful and I'm just ready to be taken off of this assignment, but that's neither here nor there. So you guys I don't normally be talking about my family and talking about all my things because I like to keep my family, you know, private and close. And, you know, when I enjoy time with them, I just like to enjoy time with them and I don't be wanting to pick up the camera and you know, that's just not me. Okay. But I did think that it was important that because you guys have been with us all this time, you know, been with me all this time and you know my kids and, you know, I did share with you guys that he was graduating. I thought it was important that you guys were able to see, you know, that you guys were brought in on that as well and able to just see everybody celebrating. It was a great time. Nobody got sick and people were vaccinated. You know, we were all up in there. I'm talking about up in there. Okay. And nobody, you know, we didn't have any incidents or anything. So that was a blessing. And I was able to see my brother, my dad, you know, all of my sister-in-laws, both of my sister-in-laws. One of my brothers is deceased, but you guys know my sister-in-law was there, my great nephews that I hadn't met yet, and, you know, just everybody. So it was a good time. It was a really, really good time. And both sides of our family are very supportive and, you know, are always willing to go and be and do, you know, so it's very special to me. So yeah, it was a great time, you guys. And that's all. Okay. But for those who wanted to hear it, if you didn't want to hear it, I guess you could have just fast forwarded through all of this. But, yeah, you guys, ain't none of the stories today really anything that was like a feature story that I needed to start with. I feel like all of the stories that I'm talking today all have the same, you know, bear the same minimal amount of importance. So I'm just going to do them in the order that I have my notes here. And then I'm going to get on back to that fucking work, you guys. I'm telling you, they are stressing me the fuck out. My anxiety is so high. I'm just so over it. It is a necessary job. It needs to be done. It helps people, but it is thankless some days. And it's just, Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Let's get on to the stories. All right, you guys. So the first story up that I took when I wrote down my notes is that y'all tell me that the next versus battle is going to be TrinaVZEve. Okay, so that's the baddest bitch against the pit bull in a skirt. I don't know how I feel about this battle. I know that Trina has hits. I know that Eve has hits. It doesn't seem to match up in any kind of way other than the fact that they are both black female rappers, but very different in style. I don't even know if they have the same fans. You know, I don't know. It just seems like a weird matchup for me. Somebody, when I was looking in the comments, when people were talking about who they thought would be a better matchup for Eve, someone said Remy Ma. And I thought maybe Remy Ma would be a good matchup, but I don't know who else. Like, I don't know. It's weird. You would have thought that if they would have had Trina do something, that they would also have another down south female black rapper. People was always saying that Kaya should have been the one. I don't know if Kaya would have been the one to go against Trina either. I just don't know. It's a strange, and you know that Kaya and Trina they'll never go against each other because Trina I'm sure doesn't even want to be in the same room as Kaya, you know. So I don't know how I feel about that one. You guys let me know what you think. I mean, who else could you have put Trina with, and who else could you have put Eve with? I mean, I think Remy Ma would have been a good one, but can you guys think of some others? You guys also said, when I asked you guys for suggestions with Fantasia And when I said Fantasia against Faith, you guys were like, no, Fantasia against Jennifer Hudson. But you guys, Jennifer Hudson, with all due respect, she's got a powerful, great voice. I'm not knocking her voice, but she doesn't have many hits. Okay, you can think of Spotlight. I can't think of anything else. I have heard her cover many songs, and she's phenomenal at what she does. But when I think of actually her own music, I don't know. Like, I don't know who I would... I don't know how I would expect her to do in a versus battle, you know? And then she's just not the same type of singer as Fantasia. Like Fantasia, like J Hud is a belter, okay? She is big voice, Broadway, stage, you know. That's her. She's not necessarily a Fantasia matchup for me. I know people say her and Fantasia all the time because they came out at the same time, but it still doesn't match up for me. I think more, somebody said Fantasia and Jasmine Sullivan, and I was like, yes, now that is one that I can agree with. I think that would be an awesome matchup as well. Maybe not Faith, and only because I think Faith is just her voice. I don't know, you guys. I still want to have my show along with the versus battle / celebration. So, yeah, I don't know. Who else could go against Fantasia? Yeah, I think Jasmine Sullivan is a great matchup. And then you guys tell me that Bow Wow and Soulja Boy have also said that they are going to, well, that's the next one that they're trying to get into the, trying to get into the versus battle. And I think that one might be cool. I mean, Bow Wow clearly has more hits than Soulja Boy, but I think that could actually work. I think that could actually work. But really, when I look at all three of those matchups, ain't none of them really exciting to me. I mean, maybe Fantasia and Jasmine Sullivan if we did, but it's like we gonna need to, it need to be pepped up a little bit. Like, I need some more excitement, like some names that we really, really, really want to hear, So I don't know, but y'all tell me what you think about that. Eve and Trina. Y'all think that's a good matchup? All right, you guys, so Real Housewives, it's always drama. Real Housewives of Potomac is coming back. It's all this shit going on, evidently, with Real Housewives of Potomac. Did I say Potomac? Potomac. And I'm just going to choose to talk about the show when it comes on, okay? Because once it's on, that's all I'm going to be fucking talking about. So let's not talk about it before the show even starts. As far as Real Housewives of Atlanta, there's just a little bit of tea that's going around. They're saying that light-skinned Keisha, okay? Also Big Bank Bisha, okay? That's what she calls herself on her. Y'all was mad at light-skinned Keisha. Y'all ain't like that title, so she started calling herself Big Bank Bisha. And evidently, there's rumors going around that she is going to be on Real Housewives of Atlanta. Now, we're going to take this with a grain of salt, you guys. I always tell you every year, what do I tell you? Let's not get excited in the summertime. It'd be all kind of wild notions flying around saying, who's coming on the show, who's leaving the show, all that. We don't know nothing until, they're starting to record, starting to film. And then when we get closer to November, usually if they're going to keep the same schedule as they normally do, then we start to find out who actually got the contracts and who is actually going to be a housewife, who's going to be a friend, or who's even going to be on the show. Okay, so I don't know how this rumor got started, but light-skinned Keisha seems to be on people's tongues. What do you guys think about her being on the show? When I think about it, I just say to myself that if Real Housewives of Atlanta as a franchise starts taking people who had been on Love and Hip Hop, the franchise in and of itself, then that is going to drag the brand down of Real Housewives. And just stick with me. I'm not saying that light-skinned Keisha is going to drag the brand down, but I'm saying that the connection to Love and Hip Hop, when you bring that type of reality show over to a show like Real Housewives, which has always branded itself as like, you know, the upper echelon, the, you know, society folks in Atlanta, the wives supposedly of these rich men. That's what the show was built on. Now it's not that any longer. The women are much stronger than the men in most cases, and half of them ain't even married, and, you know, so all of this. So, but Love and Hip Hop, which is what is it? This urban reality show that's based on like a lot of fighting, a lot of confrontation, a lot of ghetto drama, you know, ridiculousness from over that way, to bring it over to what really, it might actually work in Real Housewives of Atlanta anyway, because Real Housewives of Atlanta, I believe, has come down some. It's not the same as it used to be. There's been other elements that has been added to the show, and you know, you don't want to say it's because it's a black show, so things turn out differently, but I don't know. I don't know if I feel like them doing something like that is a good look for the show. Now, we cannot forget the fact that they have let on a YouTube personality who I believe was going to be a Real Housewife. She was going to actually have a peach, but then her divorce got in the way and she was having drama with that. So she ended up not getting the peach, and she ended up being a friend of the show. But the show has already opened itself up to people other than what we was calling high society folks in Atlanta. Okay. Now, Drew Sidora, of course, was already an actress. She's already based here in Atlanta, you know, so you could say that she was part of, you know, that who's who crowd, maybe. You know, I mean, I hadn't seen her name much, but I know she was here in Atlanta. So, and I'm not part of that crowd, so I wouldn't be able to say for sure if she was part of the who's or what's. But, you know, at least she was already an actress. She was already kind of involved in Hollywood and all of that, as opposed to LaToya, who is just a YouTube personality. I don't want to say just, you know, because I'm a YouTube personality and LaToya does very well on YouTube, and she's got millions of, you know, she's got over 1 million subscribers, and she gets all of her views, and she makes a lot of money on YouTube. So we ain't knocking it. She's making way more on YouTube, I'm sure, than she's making on Real Housewives as a friend. All right. So, but you know what I'm saying? It's just sort of like putting that onto Real Housewives. Like, I don't know how they'd be able to, you know, and really, unless light-skinned Keisha kind of changed up her way a little bit. I mean, she's a little bit hooder than the girls on the show. At least that's the way she presented herself on Love and Hip Hop. Now, she might not be that way in real life, okay? But on Love and Hip Hop, she kind of presented herself a tad bit more hood than what Real Housewives viewers are used to. Okay. So I don't know, but I mean, it would be a good look for her if it happened, but I don't know if I feel like that is true. Now, when she hasn't said that she was going to be on Real Housewives, but what she did say is that she's never going back to Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, that the show was too fucking toxic. Okay. And she said that if anybody wanted to see her, then they'd have to tune into Power Book 2 Ghost, because she's working on season 2 for that. So I think that's way more of a good look for Big Bang Bisha, and that she should just concentrate on her acting, because she actually does very well on the show. And you know, if you ain't got to be on there acting no damn fool on Love and Hip Hop and exploiting yourself and embarrassing yourself and your family and all, if you ain't got to do it, then why do it? You know, so if you're going to be on an established show that already has respect, you know, that is acting, you know, and you can show your talents that way, and I'm not mad. Or she needs to just stay over there and just do that. Okay. But that is the rumors going around. Do you guys believe it? Guys, congratulations are in order to our girl TeyanaTaylor, who has secured the title of sexiest woman alive from Maxim's Hot 100 list, okay? The magazine Maxim always comes out with a list of the sexiest, and Teyana is the first Black woman to earn that spot. So congratulations to her. TeyanaTaylor is very sexy, okay? Even though she says that she's a mother and she's a wife, and she's concentrating on directing and acting and things like that. You know, guys, remember she retired from music. She just was over it, upset with how her last album was handled by Good Music. You guys know Kanye West label. She just was not happy about the things that went down. She became disillusioned with the music industry and has decided that she's just going to direct. She's going to do, she's the creative director for Pretty Little Things. You remember she had some style, she's like a stylist, you know, amateur stylist of sorts, you know, so she likes to help people pick out their clothes and look good. And so she does all of that. So she's not missing it. I guess the stage as a singer, she's doing all these other things, but Maxim has recognized her as the sexy woman. But she said in the article that she doesn't usually feel sexy. And I was like, girl, when I look at you, you ooze sex, even if she's not really, you know, because she can be undressed a lot. You know, she can definitely push the envelope and wear something very tiny and skimpy and stuff. But a lot of times she'll just have on something that's big and bulky, sweats, or, you know, she might have on big sweatpants and maybe a little tiny top or something like that. But she's always, I mean, she's just one of those people that just reminds me of sex. Some people to me are very pretty and some people to me are very sexy. She's a sexy person to me. Yeah, congratulations to her, because we Black women is sexy out here, and it's, you know, high time that these magazines and everybody else go on and admit it. So congratulations to our girl TeyanaTaylor. She's on the cover of the magazine. Like I said, she's got on a little teeny tube top and like some big camouflage pants, you know, nothing overtly sexy, but always showing off her signature abs. Okay, the washboard abs, always in full effect. I'm happy for her. You know, I like TeyanaTaylor, so I think that this is a good look for her. So congratulations on the win. Turn on this air because bitch is about to sweat to death. Ugh. Make sure it don't blow in the, make sure it's not blowing in y'all speaker. This is hot. All right, you guys, so it seems that EvelynLozada has made the decision that she is going to be leaving the franchise Basketball Wives, okay? Now, they say that in the article that I read, but I don't think this is accurate. They say that she is one of 2 cast members who have been there since the beginning of the show. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, EvelynLozada was there. Shani has been there the whole time. That would make 2 people. But hasn't Jackie been there the whole time too? So that would make 3 people, right? And then I start to look at, no, Malaysia left for a little while. So, but I do believe that there's been 3 people that have been there the whole time. Or did Evelyn leave? I think Evelyn actually left, right? Didn't Evelyn leave for a season? Anyway, it don't matter. They say she's been on there for 9 seasons. The show has only been on since 2010, so, but remember they kind of skipped a season or whatever, a year or whatever, but yeah, she's been on there, and now she has decided that it's time for her to move on to other opportunities that the universe has opened up for her. She said that the show in and of itself has become toxic. I said become. That show has always been toxic. Basketball Wives is just one of those shows. Something about that show, it has never ever had one strand of positivity in that show. And that's the reason why I decided not to review it a long time ago, because I could see it coming, and then as time, I could see it getting worse, and then it turned into something totally different. Even these last couple of seasons, of course you heard about the colorism and, all the stuff that was going on there. I ain't got time for that. I have an ability to laugh at these reality shows. Real Housewives, Love and Hip Hop, And all the other reality shows that I have reviewed in the past, if I can't laugh at it, if it's something that affects me and makes me pissed, then I'm just not going to review it, because I don't have that kind of energy to you know, spend on something that ain't paying me nothing. Okay, is no reason why I need to be putting myself through that. That's what Basketball Wives used to do to me, for whatever reason. People used to always say, you can watch Love and Hip Hop, but Love and Hip Hop is just stupid. Okay, it's just stupid and funny. Basketball Wives, like, I feel like them girls really meant what they were saying and doing. It wasn't just for show. It just, they just, none of them, all of them, just, ugh. Okay, so, you know, she said that she could do the show with her eyes closed because she's been doing it for so long, but it just has become just way too much energy for her to be on the show. Okay, I'm sure that they offer her great money, but I guess she's decided that she doesn't need it. She said that when she went off to do her own show, remember she had EvelynLozada on OWN? She had that for 2 seasons. The show was cool. And she felt like that actually showed more of really who she is. And it kind of upped the ante in her career, like kind of made her feel like, you know, she wasn't just this old hood ass baby mama for a football player, basketball player, whatever it was that she, you know, who she was dating at the time. You know, I just was like, Evelyn, that whole show needs to go. Okay, not just Evelyn, everybody, because the show is just, it's just not really, it's just really not good. And then I was watching something when somebody was, who was I watching? Who was that I was watching an interview? And they were saying that the reason why the show doesn't work, oh, that was Nene. And actually Nene made a lot of sense when she said that the reason why the show has a lot of issues as well is because, you know, without her saying because Shani is on there, but Shani being a creator of the show and all of that, people have like a reservation towards saying something to Shani, coming at Shani, and that the minute that they do, then they get put off the show. So people can't even really be themselves and open with Shani, who passive aggressively starts a lot of shit. I mean, I don't know if she does still on the show. But when I was watching, she may not start it, but she know how to stir shit up, but look like she ain't doing nothing. Okay. And, so I just, the whole show can go if you fucking ask me. Jackie, they're gonna have to blow her up out that spot to get her to leave the show. I don't ever see her leaving the show. And as far as I know, Shani is still, I mean, the show is supposed to be coming back, right? Is it supposed to be coming back after this, because this last season they did like a pandemic type of situation. You know, they all stayed in a house, and it was all these people that nobody knew and all that, right? I don't know. Who out there still watching Basketball Wives? Y'all tell me what you think. All right, you guys, so they're saying that Kanye West has a new woman. You see, these are the kind of fucking stories I got to tell y'all about today. Kanye West got him a new woman, but fuck, don't Kim Kardashian have her a new man? But for whatever reason, Kanye's new woman is real important. So they say that he is supposedly dating Irina Shayk, okay, who is a model. And she is also Bradley Cooper's baby mama. They have a 4-year-old child together, okay? They have broken up, and now it seems that she and Kanye West have been seen out on vacation. I believe it's around his birthday, and he was out with her. So people are just assuming that they are a couple. Nobody has confirmed that. We do know that Kanye has known her at least since she showed in his, she was in his Power video. And she's also walked in some of his fashion shows in the past. So they've known each other. This is not something new as far as their friendship. But people are speculating that there is more to this relationship. And in the picture, he looks like he is smiling and happy. All right. Kim Kardashian, like I said, there's always been rumors that she's dating Van Jones. That has been the story for some time. Neither one of them have commented. Neither one of them have put a relationship out on display. Right now it's just hearsay, but we do know that supposedly Van Jones was helping her as she was studying for the bar that she did not pass. She wants to become a lawyer. So that may be where the contact started. And yeah, supposedly these two are an item. Okay. She was caught on Keeping Up with the Kardashians crying, saying how she feels like a fucking failure and a loser, that she failed at a third marriage. Okay. That she doesn't want her kids to read in the, you know, on the blogs or in the internets or just on period, that their mother was married so many times, you know, that she's ashamed of that, and that she's upset that she failed as a wife. She feels like Kanye deserves somebody that can be fully supportive of him, always travel with him and do the things that he wants to do, you know, move to Montana. She can't do that. Okay. And so she feels bad about the fact that she wasn't able to be that kind of wife for Kanye West. And you know, what can you say? I mean, you gave it the old school try, okay, and it didn't work out. Sometimes marriages don't work out. I would imagine that it's not the easiest to be married to Kanye West, and all that comes with that, but I'm sure that it's not easy being married to Kim Kardashian either, and all that comes with that. So it was already, the marriage already had a lot of things that it had to deal with even before all of the problems came, you know, and now they have a full family that's going to connect them whether they like it or not, you know. So I mean, it's too bad. I don't like to see marriages end, and they seem to have loved each other at the beginning of that, but you know, like I said, sometimes shit just don't work out, child, and everybody deserves to be happy. So if Kim is going to be happy with Van, and if Kanye is going to be happy with Irina or whoever they decide to be with in the future, then good for them. If they like it, guess what? Rocky love it. All right, you guys. Now, KMichelle. Well, I just happened to see on, before I came out to do this video, that Miles had posted, Messy Miles had posted a picture and said, bitch look good, whoever this is. And I could not tell you who the girl was. Okay. She had pink hair and it was long. She was pretty, very pretty girl, black girl. But I didn't know who she was. I had to look through the comments to figure out that it was actually KMichelle. Somebody actually left in my comments that they wanted me to talk about KMichelle's new face. And okay, so we're talking about it. I mean, she looks good. Her face does look different. I couldn't really tell you why it looks different. If this is truly her face and not just a filter, because, you know, these filters will change you up in a minute. You know, the picture almost made her face look more babyish, like a fresher, younger face. Okay. Eyes maybe looked a little bit rounder, lips maybe look a little bit fuller. So that's why I felt like it could actually be a filter. But if it's not a filter and if it's actually truly her face, I mean, she doesn't look 100% different once you start to say, okay, that's KMichelle, but she looks different enough for you to just be like, oh, she's done something to her face. But I can't really tell you what she's done. I guess maybe it's the lips, it's the eyes, something all in here. And really, that's how you want your plastic surgery. If you're going to be having plastic surgery done to your face, then you want it to be something that a person cannot specifically say, that all they can say is that it's different. Okay. And if they can say that, but not point out where it's different, then that plastic surgeon has done a good job. All right. So I'm not mad. People are talking about the fact that she looks lighter. I don't know why people keep saying that she's lightened her skin. I can tell you guys for a fact, she's lighter than I am. Not that I'm dark, but when I met her, she is light. All right. I don't know if it's her makeup that she has on sometimes, but she actually is fairer than she looks a lot of the time. All right. I mean, it could be lighting or what, but I don't think she's bleached her skin. She is a lighter skinned girl. People just don't seem to realize that. But as far as everything else, I mean, yeah, she looks good, but her face does look different. I don't know. I haven't followed KMichelle. I actually forgot all about KMichelle. I haven't seen, you know, her Instagram. I stopped following her a while ago, so I don't see her anywhere. You guys know that they sort of blackballed the girl. So The blogs don't talk about her like nobody. She done pissed a lot of people off, and so she's just kind of over, like she said, in her own world over on her side. And unless you follow her, that's the only time you really will see her. They don't play her music or anything, which is really a travesty, because I still feel like her music deserves to be played. She has good music, but you know, she's burned a lot of bridges and people don't want to deal with it no more. But yeah, you guys, have you guys seen her face? Have you seen it? It looks different. Is that really what she's looking like these days, or is that a filter?